to what success you can accomplish for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, and your community. At the same period of time, we do, as Democrats, believe in a strong floor. There's a strong floor that is anchored in Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, veterans benefits, nutritional assistance, and the Affordable Care Act. The things that Republicans are actually trying to detonate. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. And the more we can lean into what we stand for as a party, the better off we'll be moving forward.
There is new reporting this morning that President Trump has a detailed plan. It's been in the works for weeks, apparently, to send National Guard troops into Chicago. What is your plan as the Democratic leader in the House to fight that?
Well, I strongly support the statement that was issued by Governor Pritzker, making clear that, one, there's no basis, no authority for Donald Trump to potentially try to drop federal troops into the city of Chicago. There's been no request from the state of Illinois, no request at all for federal assistance. I support the Chicago Police Department. I support the New York Police Department. These are men and women who have taken an oath to protect and serve these communities, and they do a great job of that. And we should continue to support local law enforcement and not simply allow Donald Trump to play games with the lives of the American people as part of his effort to manufacture a crisis and create a distraction, because he's deeply unpopular. The one big ugly bill is deeply unpopular. Ripping healthcare away from millions of Americans is unpopular. Enacting tax breaks for their billionaire donors is deeply unpopular. And that's why a lot of this is taking place, Donna.
Do you think it's manufactured that Americans, even likely in the city of Chicago, are worried about crime?
Of course, people are going to be worried about public safety all across America. I represent a community that for decades has had to deal with the crack cocaine epidemic, the failed war on drugs, gunshots going off at different points in time in communities. So, of course, all of us will continue to focus on making sure we can drive down crime whenever and wherever it is taking place. This is not about the American people. The American people, understandably, want safer communities. As Democrats, we want safer communities. We want to continue to make sure that crime can go down as it's doing in Chicago, in New York, in Washington, D.C., and other places. And to do that, we should support local law enforcement. We should make sure that the flood of guns into these communities is cut off.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Y'all get the gist of it. He already talked about this shit. Hey, Dragon, how you doing, babes?
Hey, good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, Y'all get the gist of it.
I wish he had that same energy that he has for the police, for the gerrymandering. He really woke up, really, sat up straight when he started talking about police. But when it comes to racist gerrymandering, you're kind of like, I guess we'll just wait and see. I guess we'll just respond.
Kalichi said I'm a cheapskate. I don't have
sorry, who's the guy? Who's the guy that was speaking? I really enjoyed that.
It's Hakeem Jeffries. He's the minority leader in the House.
Yeah, he really did it for me. I mean, I was going to ask what is, he said we have a strong floor, no ceiling, or something like that. I was going to ask what was that then. He just explained it perfectly. He's really good. He's a really good speaker. I like that. I like people that know.
So y'all know J.D. Vance was interviewed on Meet the Press.
And one thing I didn't like is that part where he said we're going to respond when necessary or in kind to what they see. That's the playing defense that we mentioned earlier. It's playing defense, not offense.
Well, Donald Trump, like Donald Trump is he wields a lot of power. People tell Trump is and Trump has no. I said this before Trump got in. I said Trump is not. He's going to try to do a third term. I've said this to it that people like because he said it. It's not like I'm not saying. I'm not predicting anything. Trump said it. I don't know if you guys don't pay attention. People don't pay. He said don't worry guys. You just got to go vote this time, and you won't have to vote again. We'll fix it nicely. You will never have to vote again. Trump is not trying. Why do you think he idolizes Putin? Rolled out a red carpet for Putin and everything. Although I like Putin personally, but based on international business, according to international law, he's wanted. There's a warrant for his arrest, and he's in the code. Trump brought him in, gave him a red carpet, everything because he idolizes Putin. Putin rules Russia the way Trump would like to rule America. That's why Putin is like his role model. He worships. He's like, oh man, this guy is very good. That's exactly how you like to rule America with the iron fist. No challenging. Nobody, just do what you want. Unfortunately for him, America has got too many safeguards, So when he tries to do, but Trump actually is I think Trump has done some. I think he's done a lot of things that you would have thought would be impossible in America. But right now, he can pardon himself, basically. Was it Supreme Court or whatever has said he can pardon. So Trump has done some things that you never think would happen. America is not a democracy, really. Right now, you guys are an oligarchy. You're even worse than Russia. The 4 richest guys in America is richer than the rest of you. Everyone else, that's crazy. That's not a democracy. That's an oligarchy.
Yeah. Dragon
He's even worse than Russia. Sorry?
His approval rating's never been lower, though. That's the reason why he's like, well, let me fuck up everything else you have going for you. Because you're right, he does idolize Putin. He does want to be an oligarch. But that's the whole point. And we've seen him get away with some goofy shit desperately, the alligator Alcatraz, but we're also seeing it get pushed the fuck back and pushing his dick in with lawsuits and saying you got to shut it down in 60 days. So I think we just need to maintain momentum, maintain our focus, bring it to the Supreme Court as soon as possible. Consolidate these. There's over 30 lawsuits right now in America about this gerrymandering, racial discrimination.
The thing is, will those lawsuits even come to fruition before the midterms? Because the time is running out.
That's what I was going to ask. You guys just answering all my questions before I ask.
It has to go to the Supreme Court.
Go ahead, Dragon.
I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah, a couple of comments. I haven't been in here for a while. I always miss it. One is, I think we have to understand that there are some pretty serious splits in the MAGA coalition right now, especially about putting federal law enforcement into states. I think it's a distinctive minority of MAGA, but I think there are definitely some pretty loud voices out there questioning, saying, I thought we were the states' rights party. I thought we were a small government party. And, they see what Trump is doing and it worries them, frankly. The other thing is this Epstein file, debacle. They are very, very, some of them upset about that. And my first comment is we need to be able to reach out to those folks and talk about these things and say, well, don't you think weren't you that party of small government? I mean, don't you think that states should, have some autonomy? And once they get into that land, they start, so that's one comment. On Hakeem, I think the problem is, I think both parties have been totally corrupted. And you heard him, we got to invest more in these red states. Well, who are they going to get it from? From billionaires. And, you know, the reason the Democratic Party is bleeding support is not, you know, that people like me think we should cut Medicare more or at all. No. But because we see that the party has been kind of taken over by billionaires and that it doesn't reflect, you know, what I thought the Democratic Party was about. So, you know, I think that there has to be a real reckoning about campaign finance, about gerrymandering, all these things which have been festering for decades. I'll land there for the moment.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I just the things people are saying, like, sorry, I'm not in America, so I'm giving an outsider's perspective. If you like it, I like hearing and learning what's going on. But it's crazy. It's how anyway, politicians are crazy. They just like power. Otherwise, Trump is not even really. Would you want Trump to represent you? He's not. I guess what I'm saying is they'll rather have. Even if Trump is not real Republican, they'd rather have him in power than be out of power. Because having Trump there, they're in power at least. Although he's not really following their script. He seems to follow his own script. I don't understand why Trump is bulletproof somehow. He seems to be able to do anything and get away with it somehow. Anything that some other... I mean, Obama got hit for wearing like a tan suit or something. It was all over the place. And Trump he literally said he can shoot someone in the middle of the day and get away with it, and I believe him.
Well, that's your first issue. You believe it. Because everything he says is a fucking lie.
I don't believe everything he said. I said I believe he can shoot someone in broad daylight and get away with it.
Holy shit.
Trump
I
can
heard
shoot
what
someone in
you
broad daylight.
said. What I'm saying is everything he says is a fucking lie.
Yeah, everything is a lie, but I believe he can shoot someone and get away with it. Go. He doesn't have good plans for you guys, just put it that way. Trump does not have good plans for America.